now being recorded. So let's continue and begin by offering some prayers to Srila Prabhupada, and then we'll bring up the Bhagavad Gita for everyone to see on their computer, on their phone, or you might have a hard copy with you. Okay, so Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Sarasati Devi Gauravani Pachaline Nivasisha Sunyavadi Pashtatara Sataline Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, welcome up Olivia as well. She's with us. Hare Krishna. Right, let me share the screen. I got it already beforehand, tidied up my desktop so I can share it easily. Okay, here's Mother Chandravali just coming in. Okay, Mother Mongolpur, you have your hand enthusiastically raised. But
yeah.
before we begin,
16 or 17?
We're on 16 starting this evening. We finished off on text 15. So I'm still tidying things up here on my desktop. We finished on text 15 last week. I just wanted to highlight some things as we go into text 16. Just looking beforehand. Yeah, so Krishna spoke with, we've heard how about those who worship Krishna, Mahatmanastu Mampada, Devim Prakutim Ashwataha. And also we heard of the fate of those who don't worship Krishna. Yep. Their knowledge, what is that verse of don't worship Krishna? Let's just go back. I want to go back. Their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So generally it's a negative, generally it's inauspicious. No matter how much people may hide their struggle, for those who don't have any particular worship of the Lord, whatever form that may be, we may say, for those who are agnostic or atheistic, then there's a certain existential crisis that they have to face in life. And generally, you could say it's summarized in taking repeated births and deaths. So Krishna summarizes it here. Those who are attracted by demonic. So you have atheistic views and demonic views as well. So ultimately, their hopes for liberation. So the hopes to be free from the suffering of material existence. It's impossible. They just continue. And just living in this world, trying to make one's way in the world becomes very difficult. And their culture of knowledge are all defeated. All right. So then I've gone back a few verses. So still people coming in, letting them in. And but then we Mahatmastu Mampata about the great souls, those who do worship, they're under the protection of the Lord, the Lord's divine nature. And what do? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantas chatadavarataha. They're always chanting about Krishna and very determined, as this verse says, bowing down before him. We come into the temple room and we bow down. And these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So this is the occupation and the life of the devotees of Krishna. We're always worshiping him with devotion. And then we come to text 15. So the lead into here. So Krishna is mentioning, now he's going to mention in 3 verses, including 15, 3 types of worship, but they worship him indirectly. They're engaged in a type of worship, but it's indirect worship. Yeah. What's the word for indirect? It's used a few times in Bhagavad Gita. We'll pick that up. Okay. And then in this verse, Prabhupada quotes Chato Vidurva Janti Mam Juna Sikritina Arjuna Atiknashi Atati Ganicha Padarashapa. So he quotes chapter 7 here, mentions 4 types of Sukritin, pious persons who actually do worship Krishna. And then he mentions here, I'm just highlighting it, there are still others who are lower, and they're divided into 3. And he mentions those. One who worships himself as one with the Supreme, he who concocts some form of the Lord and worships that, and he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarup of the Supreme Personality Godhead, and worships that. All right, so next 4, then so the next 4 verses, 16, 17, 18, and 19, this describes about this last one, Vishwarup. Here accepts the universal form, the Vishwarup of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worships that. So Krishna's going to elaborate on that, what that looks like, what is their upasana, what is their specific meditation. So that's going to be described 16, 17, 18, 19, which again, just remember, it's worship of Krishna, but it's indirect worship of Krishna, right? So a little introduction of where we are, what's the context, and without further ado, let's read number 16. So Madhumangal Pura, I'm calling you to read. You had your hand up, enthusiastic as usual. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hope you're still there.
Aham katur aham yajnaha swadaham aham ausadham mantroham aham evajyam aham agnir aham hutam. Translation. But it is I who I am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Purport. The Vedic sacrifice, known as Jyotishtoma, is also Krishna, and he is also the Mahayagya, mentioned in Smriti. The oblation offered to the Pitruloka, or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitruloka, considered as a kind of a drug in the form of the clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantra chanted in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made with milk products for offering in the sacrifice are also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the 5 material elements and is therefore claimed as the separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna, or, in other words, those who are engaged in rendering devotional service into Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas.
In the Vedas. Okay, Hare Krishna. All right. Any questions or comments here?
It's funny, I was thinking on this today.
Really?
This, because I was doing the service of cooking, and it's like on the schedule, it says my name, and it thinks you think that I am doing it. But I, like, coming back, I was just realizing how Krishna makes all the arrangements. It was in the seminar room, and it's like, panicking, but how Krishna arranges for that service, arranges for all your helping you need, arranges for all ingredients, everything Krishna arranges. It's just
Yeah.
at the end. That
Nice observation.
Yeah, and today I was just thinking of this, how he arranges everything. And without these girls, Anita and Gayatri, and that, who am I to do anything, It's just amazing what Krishna arranged. That's exactly what I was thinking today.
Yeah, that's a nice correlation. So for those who don't know, Mother Chandravali, she's one of our cooks in our temple here for, I think, Amvesh Sandeep and others, not Loka, and she cooks Raj Bhoga for the Lord. Oh, sorry, my chair just collapsed. And we're doing some maintenance in our Pujari department. So we had to move the kitchen and the Pujari department out of the Pujari department and upstairs to our seminar room. So but Chandravali is experiencing that, yes, everything is being taken care of by the Lord. Yeah, so this is a devotees, looking at this verse, we understand that Krishna is by him, and the verse is coming up explaining this more explicitly, how ultimately Krishna is the sanctioner and doer of everything, actually. So thank you for bringing that out, Mother Chandravali. Nice appreciation. Yeah, it's Krishna who supplies the ghee, Krishna who supplies the oven, Krishna who supplies the helpers, Krishna gives you intelligence to cook, etc. It's all Krishna.
Krishna is butter thief as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Krishna was sort of part of it. But here specifically, this verse specifically, now these persons who engage in Vedic sacrifice, Joshtishthoma is a series of sacrifices, actually. And actually, the offering of oblations, now they may not be bhaktas as such, Sudha bhaktas. So they're engaged in some type of Vishnu-rup. So they're engaged in some type of worship here. But actually, it's Krishna who is the essence of everything they are doing. But they are worshipping Krishna indirectly through these different rituals, etc. Yeah. But actually, it's all Krishna, as is being explained here. Yeah.
Did they talk about this is yagya, which you do it in the morning and in the evening?
Say again, that
is this yagya sacrifice they are talking about, which they do in the morning and in the evening? I don't know if it's called homa or some kind of.
Well, that's the word for another word for a yagna is a homa. Generally, it's known to most as a homa. That's known like it's not the sacrifice as in done in Vedic times. Okay. Yeah, but this is the Vedic sacrifice known as Joshtishthoma. That's actual Krishna. And just had some notes here as well. Yeah. Right. The fire is Krishna. Krishna will mention that again in another couple of verses. And the element, he's one of the 5 elements, and therefore it's a separated energy of Krishna. All right. So these persons are not exactly of mentioned in the previous verse. They're not atheistic or they're not demonic. That they are engaged in some type of worship, some type of sacrifice, but actually, it's all actually Krishna. But they are doing it. They're people. They are doing it, and they are worshiping Krishna indirectly through these different sacrifices. Yeah, and the same will be continued in the next verse as well. So these verses are very interesting. All right. Someone else, if there's unless there's any other comments or questions, I'm still moving things around here.
Can I ask something?
Please.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, first Nitai Mata, and then we'll go to Model Mongo.
Prabhu, it says very clearly here, it pleased the Pitruloka. So that means it's ancestors, and also it is Karmakanda division of the Vedas.
Yeah.
So we are connecting, I think, because people think, oh, Krishna is not there in this. When you do all this, it's not Krishna, but it is Krishna. So I thought this was bring the connection.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. And that's why Krishna is saying, he says, you see the verse, he said, but it is I.
Yeah.
But it is I. So Krishna's mentioned, you're doing all, let's just go back to 15 again. Others who engage in the sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one without the second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. Yep. So that worship of the universal form is I. And who's I?
Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah, it's actually me. It is I am the ritual, I am the sacrifice, I am the offering, etc., etc. But the worship again is Krishna. So you're right. But the worship is indirect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Madhu Mango?
I think I got a bit lost. I wanted to say it anyway, we don't have anything to offer, but we offer everything back to Krishna. Like you go to Ganges or you go to Yamuna or you go to Radhakund and you take Radhakund water and you pour it back in the water.
Yeah. So what can you offer the Ganges? But the Ganges. What can
Yeah, because we don't.
Yeah, so the ingredients of yagna, everything, it's all a manifestation of Krishna, coming from Krishna, it's supplied by Krishna. So in that sense, we offer it back. It's a good example, Madhu Mango Prabhu, just like offering the Ganges to the Ganges. Yes, but with the addition of devotion. All right, let's look at 17. Someone like to read number 17?
Shall I read?
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Pitamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkar ruk sam yajurevacha. Translation: I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rug, the Sam, and the Yajur Vedas. Purport: the entire cosmic manifestations, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, but actually they are parts and parcels of Krishna. As such, these living entities who appear to be our father, mother, etc., are nothing but Krishna. In this verse, the word dhata means creator. Not only are our father and mother parts and parcels of Krishna, but the creator, grandmother, and grandfather, etc., are also Krishna. Actually, any living entity being part and parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas, therefore, aim only towards Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step toward understanding Krishna. That subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position is especially Krishna. Similarly, a living entity who is inquisitive to understand all Vedic principles is also part and parcel of Krishna, and as such is also Krishna. In all the Vedic mantras, the word Om, called Pranav, is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all the hymns of our four Vedas, Sam, Yajur, Rug, and Atharva, the Pranav, the Omkar, is very prominent. It is understood to be Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Anyone notice something kind of quite unique, not so unique, but interesting
It's saying
about purple?
Krishna, Krishna, 15 times.
Oh, you managed to count that? I was going to try and count. You actually counted, huh?
Yes, so 15
Krishna.
times, I think.
Yeah, it's Krishna. It's very Krishna conscious purple. Is Krishna.
In the
Sorry?
verse, in the verse, he says, I am Ruk, Sam, and Yajur. He doesn't say he's Atharva.
Oh, really? Well, notice.
Prabhupada mentions in the purport that he is Atharva.
Okay, that's well spotted. Yeah, so Papa clarifies it in the purple. Yeah. Anything else of interest here? There was something being presented which may be misunderstood or misunderstood in the purple here.
Om.
No.
Data means creator.
Yeah, I was just, for me, it caught my attention is here. All living entities who appear to be father and mother are nothing but Krishna.
Yeah.
So Krishna is our mother and father.
Yeah, actually, there is a song. I think we sing like that, no? Krishna is father, Krishna is mother.
Yeah, that's coming next, actually. Let's have a look. No, this is in this verse. Peter, it's in this verse. Peter Hamasachagato Mata Peter Mamahata. But one could give, that's why the Vedas sometimes they are interpreted in different ways according to the specific school. So here's, someone could easily, this is Prabhupada's purport, and I mean it's not the verse, but please don't be mistaken. I guess we're not mistaken that our father and mother are actually Krishna. They appeared, but these living entities appear to be our father, mother, etc. Are nothing but Krishna. So it seems to be saying, Prabhupada seems to give an impersonal purport here.
Before that, it says they are part and parcel of Krishna.
Yeah, they're part and parcel.
Part of Krishna. So because we're part and parcel of Krishna, we all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prabhu, just have one question here.
Yes.
When we say Krishna's energy, does it mean both positive and negative, or just positive?
You mean the external and the internal?
No, in the material world, we have two kinds of energies, right? I mean,
Sorry, someone got to have someone needs to.
If you like, you can make me as a co-host.
Yeah, can I make you co-host, Madhu Mongol? 1 second. Oh, just mute. Can you mute? Can you go muting?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, sorry, Anvesh Sandeep, please repeat that again. Sorry, I got distracted.
no, not a problem, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, when we say Krishna's energy, it embodies everything, right? Good and bad, everything.
Yeah, continue. Yeah.
And basically, in our day-to-day life, we get to see Krishna's energy power center everywhere. And which one we are choosing on a day-to-day basis, like which is making us near to Krishna or away from Krishna? Again, he's giving us a choice.
Yeah.
By asking him to choose, creating a kind of a paradox. If you choose either of them, both are Krishna. But if you choose one of them, he will be, more near to us. I mean, if we can feel his presence, but when we choose the other one, the inner guilt starts, and we feel like we are moving away from Krishna. But both are Krishna's energies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if I confused you, but it's kind of a paradox thing I just get in my mind.
Well, it's quite easy to confuse me. It's quite easily done. But that's going to be brought up. I was reading forward. That's going to be brought up in the next couple of purports. So Prabhupada's going to highlight actually that on the higher, from a higher perspective, although we make distinctions between the material energy and the spiritual energy, on the higher distinction, because it is all coming from Krishna, Devahi Esha, yeah, Guna Mahi, it's all considered to be non-different from Krishna, as you are bringing out. And it's all considered to be non-different from Krishna. So there is only one energy from Krishna, absolute perspective. So that just reminded me of that. And that's going to be mentioned, as I said, coming up. But generally, as devotees, we, like, for the non-devotee, then they're not aware of they're not aware of Krishna. So therefore, they look towards the material energy as a source for their own pleasure. and as a resource for them lording it over, as has been described already as well in the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, living entities, or then there's the external and the internal. Those aparyamadastanyam prakriti param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayatam dayate degat. Then besides the external energy, there are the living entities who are trying to exploit the resources of this material energy. Yeah. But if we are Krishna conscious, then the material energy, hopefully, or the material energy will not affect us in the same way. And as we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, it will be an impetus for remembering Krishna. Yeah, it's like a udipan. So if we study Bhagavad Gita, then the world and everything within the world for a devotee is a means for being Krishna conscious. So for instance, then you have the things like the sun and the moon. Krishna explains, I'm the taste of water, for example. But then if we read deeper as well, even the results of our activities, good and bad, is being awarded ultimately by Krishna. So I don't know if I'm just commenting on your comment, but yes, you're right. But the devotees, the more Krishna conscious we are, then we are not, I say, just like someone, I was just reading recently as well, just like the material energy, it doesn't, just by being in contact with the material energy, doesn't automatically mean that we become covered. Because we are abiding by the laws, by Krishna's laws, and we're trying to engage this external energy in Krishna's service. But someone who is a criminal, then the material energy will act. Anyway, I'm just kind of going on a bit. So I'm basically agreeing, yeah, it's a nice comment. We're just adding the part as well where devotees will, the more Krishna conscious we are, then the more we will see Krishna within the material energy. And from a higher perspective, that means from the higher perspective, it is just Krishna's energy. It is Krishna's energy. As we just read here, and we're reading, Krishna's the father, Krishna's the mother. There's nothing but Krishna's energy. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna's the creator. He's the grandmother. He's the grandfather. It's all actually Krishna. So, Hare Krishna. Anything else on that? Got a bit technical there.
I was thinking, Prabhu,
Yes.
when you are distressed, I think everybody, like, of course, demigods, we go, I'm not talking about the devotees. We seek help from demigods. But if you have this verse in front, we will not go anywhere. We will just go to Krishna. They will also go to Krishna only to ask everything, because this verse very clearly says, everything is Krishna.
Yeah, maybe we can see Krishna in everyone.
Yeah. You see Krishna in everyone. Everything is Krishna. Yeah, and later that's why this chapter is entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge, and it brings out aspects of pure devotion, because next, after these series of verses, Krishna will speak about demigod worship and the intricacies of that worship and the results of that worship. Basic in essence, one returns to the material world again and again into the world of birth and death. But then he brings out a very wonderful verse, which we will come to, Patram Puspam Phalam Toyam, where actually to worship Krishna, you just need a flower, fruit, or water. And you just offer it with, you offer that with devotion. as compared to this Vishwarup, which is indifferent, which is not indifferent, which is indirect, excuse me, worship of Krishna. Of course, when devotees hear this verse, they just think of Krishna. Just like Prabhupada in the purple. See, this verse is referring to those who are worshipping the Vishwarupa. But for devotee, this is all Krishna. Because Krishna says it is I, and so Prabhupada just elaborates on that. So devotees will spontaneously see all these by dint of their direct worship of Krishna, they see everything related to Krishna. But some people are not aware of that direct aspect, and they're just worshipping the indirect. But Prabhupada's making it quite clear in the purple as well. It's all Krishna. So why not just worship Krishna? And how can you worship Krishna? Very easy. Patram puspam phulam tayam yomai bhakti parayatati. Just offer me fruit, leaf, fruit, or water, and with devotion. That's how you can please me. Yeah.
Vadi Prabhu, can I jump in quick? Because
yes,
my want to clarify something. She wants to know why you said only water, flower, and the tulsi leaf will be enough for Krishna to accept the worship, and not incense. She want to know why incense you didn't say, because always I'm offering a lots of incense, and she wants to know why no incense.
Well, the context there in that particular definition is that Krishna's bringing out how easy it is to serve him. All right. So if you don't have enough money for any incense, don't worry. Go in a garden, pick a leaf, and Krishna will be happy with that. Or you don't have a back garden. Say you live in a block of flats. You don't have any incense. You don't have a back garden. So you have water in the tap. So you just offer that. Patram puspam phulam. You can offer, you go to the supermarket and get an apple. You can offer that. But with priti, with devotion, and then Krishna would accept that. So he's just highlighting, there's many things he didn't mention there. He didn't mention the ghee lamp, didn't mention dupa, didn't mention the 64 items of worship. All right.
She said thank you.
No problem. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I have a question then.
All right.
Duryodhan was
no.
given a choice to pick for the battle, Krishna or Krishna's army, and he picks Krishna's army. Okay,
Yeah.
the same, but it wasn't the same, was it?
Say that again. I didn't catch the question.
Like Duryodhan was given a
You got
choice
that? Yeah.
to pick
Yeah.
Krishna, was given the first choice, Krishna or Krishna's army.
They took.
And he decides to pick Krishna's army.
Yeah.
He thinks Krishna, but it's different.
Say that last. But
Like it says Krishna is everything. Krishna himself, Krishna's army is Krishna, but yet there was a difference. Picking Krishna for Arjuna was better than picking the army.
give a purple to that.
No.
I don't.
just want you to
I
explain it.
can't understand the connection clearly. You have to explain a bit more.
Then why, like it says Krishna is everything, right?
Yeah.
So then picking Krishna or Krishna's army is the same.
All right. Okay. I think I've got it. Yeah. Okay.
Prabhu
As you-
Mataji's,
Yeah, one sec. As we're reading this and we're studying this, we understand that everything is a manifestation of Krishna and everything is Krishna. Yes, we understand that. Well, we're trying to understand that. But that specific example is a particular, that's illustrating another point really. And it's a wonderful pastime.
Yeah.
As you know, Krishna is you know, Krishna, Arjuna happily chooses Krishna, because wherever there is Krishna, there will almost certainly be great victory, morality, as Sanjaya realizes at the end. So that's the foolishness of Duryodhana. He doesn't actually know who he is actually dealing with. So therefore, he chooses Krishna's army, which consists of thousands and thousands of troops. And Arjuna just wants Krishna. So that's a great, that's a wonderful story in the Mahabharata. And it illustrates the foolishness of the materialist. Yeah. And how devotee is completely dependent upon Krishna. So if you have Krishna, then everything's okay. Sorry, Nitai Mata,
I was thinking his spirit is not only blind, actually he's spiritually blind. He couldn't recognize Krishna. I think that is what it gives us, that understanding.
Duryodhana is known as being blind in two ways. So that pastime illustrates that very nicely.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from him? Okay. Right, let's edge on to number 18. Someone would like to read this. This is a wonderful verse. I remember memorizing this verse 3 or 4 years ago, and I've been going over it again. It's a wonderful verse. Someone like to read this one? Otherwise, I'll be greedy. Oh, I can't see anyone's hand.
Yeah, I can read.
Pavalawanga, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, which one? 9:18?
18.
Yeah, thanks. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shaksi Nivasa Saranam Surit Prabhava Pralayastanam Nidanam Bijam Apyayam. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gati means the destination where we want to go, but the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is not either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets, being manifestations of Krishna's energy, are also Krishna, but actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should one go by the staircase step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is the supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, is the supreme witness. The residences, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity, and since Krishna is the source of our generation, or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes.
Okay, thank you, Baba. So, Nitai Bhatta, how many times is Krishna mentioned here? She's gone. Yeah, many times Prabhupada again is mentioning Krishna? Any questions or comments here?
Not yet checked, Prabhu. Sorry.
No problem. So Krishna is the goal, gati, the same destination where we hopefully we want to go. Yeah. And here it says, but the ultimate goal is Krishna, as though people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. All right. And what can you say? Everything is Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
23 times it is.
23 times. Well done, you counted, yeah. Yeah, so this is the point here in this 9th chapter. It's bringing us, as although this is speaking about indirect worship, actually it's all just Krishna. So why not worship Krishna directly? Yeah, and therefore it's considered, by worshiping Krishna, then it's just like watering the root of a tree. Then all the demigods become satisfied. Everything fits into place. Everything is nourished. Everything fits into place. Everything will eventually fall into place. Yeah. So he is the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. Word for friend is surit. Let's just check that. Surit. Sharanam surit. Kati bhata papo shakshi nivasha sharanam surit. Bhava palashtanam nijanam bijam havayam. All right. So Krishna is everything. God is everything. Krishna is everything. All right. Any comments or questions?
Modi Prabhu, one question.
Please.
Could I read also a verse after?
Say again?
Can my wife read also a verse after?
Yeah, of course. Please. All right, let's look at text 19. Okay, you can go ahead. You can read text 19. Tapamyaham. You can see?
Yeah, I can try. Tapamyaham aham vasham nignam yotrashjami cha
That's it, yeah.
cheva mruchuscha sadasakcha Arjuna.
Great, well done. There's a difficult word, this one. Utshrijami. You did well. Nikri nami utshrijami cha. You did very well. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
You can read the translation in purple as well for us.
Okay, so translation. O Arjuna, I give heat, and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality, and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Purport. Krishna, by his different energies, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. During summer season, it is Krishna who checks rain from falling from the sky, and then during the rainy season, he gives unceasing torrents of rain. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna, and Krishna meets us at the end as death. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna, there is no distinction between matter and spirit, or, in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinctions. He sees only Krishna in everything. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form of comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna, and his pastimes in Vrindavan as two-handed Shamasundar playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, thank you. So, and any questions or comments here?
I have one comment.
Yes, please, Mother Kishore.
This Krishna says, Aham Varsham, I am the rain. And I am rain.
You're speaking about the previous verse, sir? No, no, this verse, sorry. Carry on, yeah.
Yeah, I withhold and send forth the rain.
The rain, yeah.
He is rain. Well, presently, In Dubai, they use the artificial clouds to have the rain.
Oh, it's called
Yeah.
seeding, isn't it? It's called
Yeah.
seeding. I
That
think they
is-
overdid it. I think they overdid it in Dubai.
Yes. So they're playing with Krishna's energy, or Krishna himself. They're challenging something like
Yeah,
that.
well, that's the general disposition of a materialistic person. They're trying to challenge God's authority, trying to
Yeah.
live supposedly independent of God's authority. But at any moment in time, their plans can be struck down. Just like I think we recently saw in Dubai.
Yeah.
You know, just there could be an earthquake at any moment. There could be any natural disaster. So, you know, this is the kind of illusion of the materialistic society. It's trying to do without God. Yeah. But time and time again, man gets brought down to his knees at some point. Yeah. Through some natural disaster, through different diseases, etc. Yeah. So yeah, they're trying to, you know, trying to be eternal, but there's always diseases going to struck people down, and there's old age. So I don't know if that's just comment on that. Because okay, they can do a little something, play around with the material energy, but eventually they have to succumb to death, and that's Krishna. He is death personified. Yeah. It
So
says
feel-
yeah. Sorry, Madhumango?
So Krishna will fulfill the desires and give them inspiration how they could bring rain, but in the same time, there's a price for it because it was not meant for them to have the rain there. So we can do all the pujas and all the sacrifices, but there is a price for it, which we will pay if it's not natural.
Yeah,
Like-
if you play around with the
Or-
material energy, then the material energy will play around with you. But is that, I mean, without going too much into news, etc., is that what actually happened in Dubai? That they seeded the clouds and it caused a devastating rainfall? I don't think so.
They did. They
Yes.
used
It is so much rain, Prabhu. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Really? And that was done
Literally.
artificially?
yes.
No, they said they do seed clouds, but they said this rainfall was not because of the seeding. But of
No.
course,
Yeah.
they don't know that. It could be a reaction from their seeding, which
Yeah.
they haven't got the knowledge to understand that is the reaction.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's just, I mean, they try and pride themselves as being, you know, just like, who is it? Was it Ravan tried to build a staircase to go to heaven? Or was
Yes.
it Hiranyakashipu?
Ravan.
Yeah, Ravan had a kingdom of gold.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of that kingdom. But eventually he lost everything. So, for instance, they may be very, very proud in Dubai. Which, well, their city is not made of gold. It's made of sand, bricks. And they're living so-called independently, so-called fantastic life, so-called, but at any moment, disaster can strike, you know?
They have been trying for the last 20 years and building, or they are having a lot of islands in the Arabian Sea. That there are so many islands, you know, so that those are not natural.
Yeah,
It's all
etc.,
they
etc.
created islands. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is history. For instance, we have the Roman Empire, fantastic in its development, spread all out of Europe and practically most of the, you know, European areas and other areas, but it was all, everything became finished at one point. So different civilizations come and go. So, you know, just comment. And is that, Maharaj Kishore, anything else on that you wanted to bring out here? Okay, you're muted there.
The microphone is mute, Mataji.
No, it's just that when I thought there is I bring and send forth rain, and I thought people are challenging the nature.
Imitating that, yeah.
That's why I commented.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it just reminds me of when Lord Nrsingadev was fighting Hiranyakashipu. Then he was playing around with him, and he didn't kill him straight away. So it was as if Hiranyakashipu had some power, just like a cat when it plays with a mice. It doesn't kill it automatically. He may go up to him, go up to the mouse, and then strike it with his paw. Then it steps back and watches the mouse. Then it goes forward. So sometimes materialistic persons, they're playing around with the material energy, and Krishna's just waiting. Yeah, but any moment it can be finished. Any moment their plans can be finished. Yeah, so actually it's Krishna. It's not the scientists. Yeah. And even if it is them, it's Krishna giving them the intelligence to do such things. Yeah. All right. Okay, we've got a few minutes left. Anything else from here at all? Oh yeah, here this is Anvesh. This is the point I was making. This is the point I was speaking of as well here. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna, there is no distinction between matter and spirit. Or in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinction. He sees only Krishna in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually.
Yeah. Now, if one looks at the material energy as being separate from Krishna, that's when it exhibits its feature of putting one in illusion. Is when you see that energy and you're not conscious of Krishna. Then you think it's for you. So therefore you become overcome by illusion. But the devotee doesn't see any distinction. He sees all as Krishna's energy. So he or she engages it in Krishna's service. Because it's all Krishna's. He sees both in the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one makes no distinction. He sees only Krishna in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually solves every problem, Prabhu. Even the one we were discussing earlier related to annihilation in Dubai, or worshipping demigods, or worshipping Krishna. I mean, it's just a answer for everything, right? I mean, if we are in association with Krishna, wherever we are and whatever we are doing, it's always doing service to Krishna. Even the cloud seeding thought is not just a thought that has come out of nowhere, right? It's from Krishna consciousness. That thought was invoked in specific person, and it has become a outcome, and it has shown us the example, like, okay, this is how the annihilation would be, this is how the glorification would be if you use material energy in association with Krishna. It is always going to give you a good outcome, which is incremental in a way that it's always progressive.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
the opposite is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's time and time. It has been proved across the examples you quoted, Roman Empire and Ravana and stuff. So I think it's not just associated to the empires or kingdoms, even to the person, I believe. In whatever the activity we do, in whatever the person we reach out to, or in whichever the form we see, if you just think of Krishna everywhere, it only reflects in a form of love everywhere. I mean, I mean, it's hard to stay that way, but still, like, when we remember Krishna, just a smile comes on our face. Okay, it just passes away like a cloud, everything, right? So.
Yeah, that's why when we began this evening, I just want to go back And repeat that verse again. So the opposite here. So we're hearing about for those who are Krishna conscious. So what's being described here is the is the Vishwarupa, those who are worshipping Krishna indirectly. We and in Prabhupada's purpose are just seeing this as nothing but glorification of Krishna. So just trying to find. Where's that verse? Moga samuga kama no moga gana. Yeah, again this verse. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, say their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all ultimately defeated. Ultimately defeated. Yeah. A society living without a sense of God consciousness is actually ultimately defeated. Okay. Hare Krishna. So let's check the times. 57 minutes. Let's see it now. The Krishna, let me just the nice connection here. Let's point this out. We might just read the verse and then go, because tomorrow we can perhaps read the purport. So now Krishna is going to describe one who worships the demigods as if the demigods are supreme. So what's the result of that worship? Yeah. So they're worshipping the demigods as the supreme. So they're not directly worshipping Krishna as the source of empowerment, as the source of all. They're worshipping the demigods. Okay, the demigods are also Krishna. So it is indirect worship. So then the result of that is going to be described next.
Can I ask something quick?
Please, yeah.
So it says if we worship the Pitris, we'll go to Pitruloka. If we worship the demigods, we go to demigods. If we worship Krishna, we go to Krishna. So
yeah,
why
that's a verse in Bhagavad Gita you're quoting.
So
yeah.
why are demigods living on a demigod planet? And if we go there, we are kind of doomed, isn't it? To go on a demigod planet, and because we are not demigods.
Yeah, no, but you have to become demigod-like to actually go there. So you engage in different pious activities, very strict pious activities for many lives, then you may gain the qualification for entering those heavenly realms. But the point that's going to be brought out in these couple of verses here, these are two nice verses which come together, 20 and 21. So 20 speaks about going there. Yeah, they study the Vedas, drink that Soma's juice again from Holland and Barrett. Seeking heavenly planets, they worship him indirectly. So that's the path. Then they enter the heavenly planets where they enjoy godly material delights compared to here. But here's the result. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. So this is Krishna's conclusion. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principle of the three Vedas, so these are karma kandis, actually what they achieve is nothing but birth and death.
They will return back to planet Earth, but they will return more evolved or the same how they left before.
Well, they will come back. They will be probably in sattvic life, in a sattvic birth, without studying it further. Now, again, this chapter speaks about the most confidential knowledge. So having described that, then we're going to go here. Now, Krishna said all this to bring us to this point here. But those who worship me with exclusive devotion, meditate on my transcendental form, for them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Then there's indirect worship. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Now I'm giving you a synopsis of the whole chapter. But let's pick up tomorrow on text 20. And let's pick this up tomorrow. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. Please join us tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll carry on. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Lord Premanandi, Hari Bol.
Modi Prabhu ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare